They say there once was a breath so powerful, it could make two strangers fall in love without a single word. This wasn't a myth, but an ancient practice, hidden deep within temples of India and Egypt, whispered among mystics, and eventually banned by the West. Why? Because this breathing technique didn't just calm the mind. It awakened something far more profound, a state of unconditional love that transcended logic, hierarchy, and even control. When you truly breathe this way, the illusion of separation dissolves. You don't think love, you become it. In the early 20th century, a few Western scientists rediscovered fragments of this method. The results were so extraordinary that it caused discomfort among religious and political institutions. Reports surfaced of participants feeling overwhelming compassion, tears, even telepathic-like bonds with others. Authorities labeled it unethical manipulation of emotion. But in truth, it was liberation, a return to the human heart. Today, that same technique is resurfacing, and in a world addicted to distraction and digital affection, this forgotten breath could be the most radical act of self-awareness and love. What if everything you've ever sought, connection, peace, passion, was waiting inside a single breath? We live in a time when people can message anyone across the planet in seconds, yet feel more alone than ever. The irony is painful. We've built networks of instant connection, but lost the art of feeling connected. Couples lie in bed facing opposite screens. Friends meet for coffee but scroll instead of seeing each other. Even families share the same house, but different worlds. Somewhere along the line, love became a concept, not a living experience. Most people think love is something you find, a person, a match, a perfect story. But love isn't found, it's felt. It's a frequency that flows through you when your body and breath are open. And yet, our modern lifestyle does the opposite. Shallow breathing from anxiety, tight chests from stress, constant mental chatter drowning the silent rhythm of the heart. Slowly, this disconnection numbs us. We become smart but empty, efficient but cold, surrounded but untouched. The problem isn't that we've lost love. The problem is that we've lost our access to it. The bridge between love and our modern condition isn't philosophy, therapy, or even language. It's the breath. To heal the world's emotional drought, we must relearn how to breathe from the soul. Long before love was reduced to emojis and romantic cliches, ancient civilizations understood it as an energy, a living current that moved through the breath. In India, they called it prana, the life force that flows through every being. In Egypt, it was known as ka, the divine essence that animates the body. In China, they called it qi. Across cultures, the message was the same: breathe correctly, and you awaken the spirit within. These traditions weren't about philosophy. They were technologies of consciousness. Monks, healers, and initiates practiced secret breathing rituals to dissolve fear, open the heart, and experience unity with all living things. The air was not just oxygen. It was sacred communication between body, mind, and spirit. Some texts describe how these techniques created such deep empathy that two practitioners could sense each other's emotions instantly, even at a distance. When the Western world encountered these methods, they were often misunderstood. The idea that love could be generated from within, without dependence on religion or another person, threatened existing power structures. So, much of this knowledge was either dismissed as superstition or deliberately hidden. But truth has a way of surviving. And now, After centuries of silence, this forgotten breath of connection is reawakening. Modern science is finally catching up to what the ancients already knew. Your breath doesn't just keep you alive. It shapes the way you feel, think, and love. Every inhale and exhale sends signals through the vagus nerve, a communication superhighway connecting your heart, lungs, and brain. When you breathe slowly and deeply, this nerve activates, releasing oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds mothers to children and lovers to each other. Research from institutions like Harvard and Stanford shows that intentional breathing can synchronize heart rhythms, balance the nervous system, and increase feelings of trust and compassion. When two people consciously breathe together, their heartbeats can literally begin to sync. Measurable proof that love isn't only emotional, it's physiological. Breath coherence brings the body into harmony, and harmony feels like love. On the other hand, shallow breathing, the kind most people do under stress, sends danger signals to the brain. It shuts down empathy, narrows focus, and triggers survival mode. In this state, we can't connect deeply with anyone, not even ourselves. The breath becomes a mirror. Chaotic breath, chaotic mind. Peaceful breath, peaceful heart. Science is revealing what mystics have whispered for centuries. Love is not magic. It's biology awakened by breath. To the ancients, the breath was not merely air. It was the voice of the soul. They believed every inhale was a dialogue with the universe, every exhale a message of creation. In Sanskrit, the word for breath, prana, means life itself. In Hebrew, ruach means both breath and spirit. Across continents and languages, they all pointed to the same truth. The breath carries the essence of love, because it carries the essence of life. Spiritual teachers understood that love is not a fleeting emotion or a chemical accident. It's a frequency, an energetic resonance that aligns you with the heartbeat of the cosmos. When you breathe consciously, you tune your inner vibration to that frequency. Your energy shifts from contraction to expansion, from fear to openness, from separation to unity. You don't need to search for love. You become the channel through which love flows. But somewhere along humanity's path, the Western world turned away from this inner knowing. Logic replaced mystery. Science became the new scripture, and the breath was reduced to a biological function. Yet, beneath all the rational noise, the spirit still whispers, breathe, and remember who you are. Through the breath, spirituality and science finally meet, where love is both measurable and divine. Now we reach the part that was once considered forbidden, the breathing technique itself. This method was hidden because it doesn't just calm the body, it awakens the heart's energetic intelligence. When practiced with presence, it dissolves emotional armor, opens channels of empathy, and activates the magnetic field of love that surrounds every living being. It's safe, simple, and yet profoundly powerful. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit upright, either cross-legged on the floor or on a chair with your spine straight. Rest your hands over your heart, one palm touching your chest, the other over it. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose for 4 seconds. Hold gently for 4. Exhale slowly through the mouth for 6. Feel the breath. Leave your body like a wave, carrying away tension. This is the rhythm of love. 4, 4, 6. Now, as you continue breathing, begin to feel gratitude. Imagine that every inhale draws in light, pure, warm, golden energy. Let that light collect in your heart. As you exhale, imagine that light expanding outward, filling your body, your room, and eventually touching the hearts of others. Breathe this way for 5 minutes. If you're with a partner, try it together. Sit facing each other, eyes closed or softly open. Sync your breathing. Inhale together. Pause together. Exhale together. You may begin to feel warmth in your chest, tingling in your hands, or even tears. Don't resist them. That's your heart reawakening. Some practitioners report sensations of timelessness, deep peace, or even feeling merged with their partner or environment. What you're experiencing is coherence. Your body and spirit vibrating in harmony. This state is love made visible. Practice daily. Start with 5 minutes and over time extend it to 15. Always end the session with a deep inhale of gratitude for your breath, for life, and for the unseen intelligence that connects all hearts through the air we share. Within minutes of practicing this breathing technique, something extraordinary begins to happen. The mind quiets. The body softens. It feels as if the world itself exhales with you. A sense of peace flows in, not the kind you think your way into, but the kind that simply arrives when the walls inside you start to fall. For some, the first sign is warmth spreading through the chest, a gentle pulse that seems to beat in rhythm with the breath. For others, it's tears, not of sadness but of release. Years of held tension, unsaid words, and unexpressed feelings finally find their way out through a single sigh. As the minutes pass, your awareness expands. The space around you feels alive. You might sense a subtle glow, an invisible field that seems to pulse in harmony with your heart. This isn't imagination. It's coherence, a measurable state where your heart, brain, and breath synchronize into a unified rhythm. Scientists call it heart-brain alignment. Mystics call it the awakening of the soul. In this state, love no longer feels like something you give or receive. It simply is. The boundaries between you and others blur. Compassion arises naturally, effortlessly. You may find yourself forgiving people you never thought you could, feeling affection for strangers, or laughing for no reason at all. These are signs of the ego melting, the illusion of separation dissolving in the warmth of breath. Even after just one session, your body begins to remember this state. Your nervous system starts to trust safety again. The world feels softer. The people around you seem more human, more real. And deep down, you recognize that what you've touched isn't new. It's what you've always been. Love, after all, was never something you had to earn. It's the default state of a heart that finally remembers how to breathe. The real power of this technique isn't just in the moments of bliss you feel while practicing. It's in what happens when you carry that awareness into your daily life. Over time, the breath begins to rewire you. The body learns safety where there used to be fear. The nervous system, once trapped in cycles of defense and overthinking, starts to open like a flower. And with each session, love becomes less of an emotion and more of a state of being. Within a few weeks of daily practice, you may notice subtle but profound changes. Conversations feel lighter. Conflicts dissolve faster. You become more patient, more intuitive, and more attuned to the emotions of those around you. Relationships transform because you are no longer reacting from old wounds. You're responding from presence. Science calls this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself. Spiritually, it's called awakening. The two are the same thing seen through different eyes. As the breath deepens, trauma surfaces, not to hurt you, but to be released. Memories, sensations, even dreams may rise from the depths of your subconscious. Instead of suppressing them, you breathe them through. The air becomes your ally, carrying pain out of your body like smoke leaving fire. With each release, your emotional body becomes lighter, your aura brighter. Over months, this practice starts to shape your electromagnetic field, the measurable energy that surrounds every living being. HeartMath Institute's research shows that this field can extend up to several feet beyond your body, influencing those around you. When you breathe love, you broadcast coherence. People feel calmer in your presence without knowing why. You become a quiet force of harmony in a chaotic world. Spiritually, this is the rebirth of your authentic self. You are no longer chasing love through validation, performance, or possession. You are love, expressed as breath, movement, and awareness. And when two people living in this state meet, their connection transcends emotion. It becomes communion. This is what ancient mystics meant when they spoke of union, not the merging of bodies, but the meeting of two energies vibrating in resonance. This is how relationships heal, not through endless analysis or negotiation, but through alignment, the remembrance that love is not something we do, but something we allow. And it all begins with the breath you once took for granted. For centuries, humanity drifted away from the wisdom of the breath. Industrial progress replaced intuition. Religion replaced direct experience. Science replaced mystery. But as the world now faces an epidemic of loneliness, anxiety, and emotional disconnection, people are remembering what was once forgotten. The key to healing is already inside us. This rediscovery isn't random. It's part of a greater awakening happening across the planet. Breathwork circles, meditation retreats, and heart-coherent studies are emerging everywhere. What was once dismissed as superstition is now validated by data and neuroscience. People are realizing that no technology, no algorithm, and no social network can replace the feeling of a present, conscious breath. Across the world, from Los Angeles to Bali, millions are relearning how to breathe, not to survive, but to connect. The banned techniques once hidden in mystery schools are returning, reimagined and accessible to everyone. There's a reason this is happening now. Humanity has reached a point of choice. We can continue down the path of fragmentation, where emotion is weakness and love is currency. Or we can return to the essence of what we are. Every breath you take consciously is a vote for unity, for presence, for life. And here lies the paradox. The technique that was once considered dangerous is now the medicine we need most. Dangerous not because it harms, but because it frees. When people awaken to love within themselves, they become ungovernable by fear. They can't be manipulated by shame or division. They see through illusion. That's why it was hidden. Not because it was bad, but because it was powerful. Now, this power belongs to everyone again. The breath that was once reserved for monks, mystics, and initiates is returning to living rooms, classrooms, and quiet bedrooms across the world. It's the renaissance of the heart, a revolution that doesn't need weapons or slogans, only awareness. And if enough of us remember how to breathe this way, the vibration of the planet itself will shift. Because when one person awakens, others feel it. When millions do, love becomes unstoppable. Now is the moment to take action. The journey from suppression to rediscovery has brought us full circle, showing that love is not something we chase. It is something we awaken within ourselves through the breath. Every session you practice, every conscious inhale and exhale, is a step toward reclaiming the deep connection you were born to experience. This is not theory or philosophy. It is a living, measurable reality. Start small. Commit to 5 minutes a day, following the rhythm of the 4-4-6 breath. Sit quietly. Feel your heart expand and let the energy of love move through your body. If possible, share it with a partner, a friend, or even a pet. Witness the subtle shifts in your own presence, in the way others respond, in the depth of your relationships. The cumulative effect is transformative. Calmer nerves, more empathy, deeper intimacy, and a lasting sense of inner peace. Do not wait for permission. The technique was once banned, but now it belongs to you. Share it responsibly, teach it gently, and honor the power of your own heart. The world doesn't need more instruction manuals. It needs more people who have remembered how to feel. Each breath is an act of rebellion against separation and an invitation to unity. If you take this practice seriously for just 7 days, you will experience what centuries of mystics already knew. Love is not outside. It is inside. And the moment you breathe it fully, the world changes, one heartbeat at a time.